You're soft, you're grounded, you sit in your feminine energy really well, you even have a good head on your shoulders. And he seems drawn to all of that. Then all of a sudden, the energy shifts. He starts to pull back and he starts becoming distant. And now you're confused because you just swore you were doing everything right. You could have sworn they loved you to pieces. They thought you were amazing and all the things. And now you can't figure out where things went wrong, if you did something wrong, or what the heck happened, right? Now, let me tell you something that most people won't, or at least don't know to tell you because they're not aware themselves. A lot of men, masculine men, are attracted to feminine energy, right? That's their polarity. They crave that feminine to be the polarity to their masculine. Absolutely. But few men actually are ready for the responsibility of holding it. It's a big difference there. So let's talk about why masculine men pull back and away from you even when they're attracted to you. So let's start here. Attractiveness does not equal readiness, right? A lot of men can be widely drawn to your softness, your nurturing ways, or even that intuitive energy that feels so great to have around and so forth. But the moment they realize having all of those attributes that you possess in their life also requires emotional consistency from them, leadership, or depth in presence, that's when they can easily become overwhelmed, feel unsure, and afraid that they just can't deliver what you actually need. It's not always because you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it's because your energy reveals where they're still incomplete in some area of their pie of a person. So let's be clear. A real man is never scared of feminine energy. Like a woman herself does not scare him in her femininity, right? He's scared of being exposed by that feminine energy if he has not done the work. If he hasn't done the work in himself, then the more complete you are in your feminine energy and you show up in that way, confident in all the things and doing all the right stuff, the more it exposes where he has not done the work internally to sit in his masculine in a healthy manner to be your polarity. And that's because feminine energy isn't passive, it's very potent. See, there's this myth that feminine energy only means silence, submission, or softness only. But that couldn't be more false. See, feminine energy is receptive, not weak. It's magnetic. It's intuitive. It's emotionally attuned. It's very expressive. And when a man is unstable or unclear in his own masculinity, he may mistake your presence for pressure, fear your softness because it demands real stability. He may assume he has to earn you and give up early on in the process, right? Now, don't get me confused. Yes, a man or even a woman, anybody has to show up to earn access to different levels of someone's value. But a man that's not sitting well in his masculine the right way, he may read all this prize worthy experience he's getting from you and seeing how valuable you may be, and may in his brain subconsciously communicate to himself he has to be more than who he just is in order to be with you, which feels like can be scary to him because maybe he feels like he's not built to do all that, right? To where he feels like he'll be trying to, measure up or prove himself forever. And then he just calls it quits or decides to check out of that early because you represent to him a level he has not reached yet to sustainably keep going, right? So in a sense, you should actually be happy for a guy like that backs off of you that soon because he's at least saving you the time and the investment versus a guy that tries to hang around and do whatever he can to keep staying in your world, but he's not prepared to be your partner, right? He hasn't built himself to that level. So in some respect, you should be happy about it. But if it's confusing to you, that's another notch against, hey, you should not be confused as to why he is backing off. You should be really clear in understanding that, but also offer some grace because it can be an embarrassing thing or a really insecure thing for a man to say to you he doesn't feel like he's going to measure up or doesn't feel like he can fill the shoes that you need for the man in your life, right? That's hard to do. So let's be gracious while we're still holding them accountable. But the main point is feminine energy doesn't demand that you chase, but it does require you to rise. And not every man is ready for that. But to make sure we're on the same page, so you can make sure you check yourself off and making sure you're not showing up in your feminine energy in a unhealthy way or a way that doesn't help the situation, right? Let's talk about what healthy feminine energy actually feels like. It's not trying to convince him that you're enough in all these things. It's not trying to fix him because he has potential. It's not you consistently or constantly having to explain, re-explain, and over-explain your standards to him. It's not you performing for him, trying to be the kind of woman you think he's looking for and all these things. No, it's staying true and holding to your truth without begging to be seen. Being the prize, right? Be the prize that you claim you are, and let him either choose to see it or he does not. If he's healthy enough to see it, pursue it, and receive it whenever he can have it. That means you're vulnerable without oversharing. That means you express your needs without demanding them. That means you're warm, but your standards never fold. You still being warm and soft and embracing never comes at the expense of you wavering on what you require to be happy, healthy, and whole in life or in a relationship. See, the right man will never confuse your softness for weakness. No. If he's healthy and sits in his masculine in a secure way, he's going to see it as a challenge to be more rooted with you, to be more present with you, and to be more intentional with you, because his masculine energy likes the challenge. It likes healthy challenge, things that moves him to rise to a higher standard. Remember, rise to the feminine energy's requirements, right? To what you require in order to be in his life, for him to have access to you, the prize, right? Men love a challenge to go get something they feel is worth rising to the challenge for. So he'll never confuse your softness for something weak, because he'll see it as an opportunity to grow and to be able to build better connection with you, because you're valuable enough to him to want to do that. So when you find yourself in one of these kind of situations or circumstances where you're seeing a guy that seems like he's pulling back, or he starts acting a little different or standoffish after you guys are having a great connection and all those things, it's important for you to still stay in your feminine energy and don't switch up in all these things. So I'm going to tell you right now how you can stay in your energy, right? Stay in the feminine base you want to stay in and secure there without feeling like you need to shrink yourself down to match where he's at, or you have to start performing and be something that you're not to accommodate his insecurities maybe, or wherever his lack of growth is, or whatever comfort zone that he has. The first thing you don't do is you don't chase clarity. You hold your standard until it arrives. So if he says, I'm not sure what I want, right? Then you say, oh, that's okay. I understand, but I know what I need. See, you don't have to fight against what he's saying or where he's at if it conflicts with what you're here for and you're trying to date with intention towards a relationship and all these other things. You don't want to waste your time. You don't have to press back on his thing. You can validate and acknowledge and, hey, have respect for where he's at. But that doesn't change what you require. Remember, you're the prize, right? Now, just to be clear here, too. All of us as men and women are prizes, but you're the prize to be pursued, right? You don't pursue men, they pursue you, or masculine men to feminine women. So being that prize, just like if you're a trophy for a sport, it doesn't matter what that team out there was feeling. If they weren't sure they wanted to put the work in to try to make it to the big game or to the Super Bowl or whatever the championship is, right? Okay, you can respect that they're not ready this year. They don't want to put the effort in, but you still have your requirements in order for them to stand on that stage or on that field and have the right to hold you up, right? It doesn't change here in dating either. So if he's not sure, that's fine. Respect that. But let him know, hey, you know what you need. And if this is not what you need and it's not working for you, then nothing moves. Second, do not overfunction. Meaning, if he's inconsistent or avoidant, do not fill the gaps in for him with effort. See, when you start filling in the gaps with effort to compensate or make up for what he's not doing, right? That's masculine. You're taking more of that proactive, being the aggressor. You're taking on the pursuer role, right? That's his job as the masculine man in the equation. So either let him step up or let him step out. And third, stay present, not performative. You do not have to be perfectly feminine, whatever that is, right? You just need to make sure you stay honest, grounded, and intentional. See, when you're able to stay honest, meaning you're being true to yourself, right? True to the feminine energy and nature you like to stay in, to where you're not slipping into more of your masculine role or defensive nature, right? You're still being soft, nurturing, and so forth, and pleasant and embracing, right? That's part of your honesty, but also you're being grounded, right? Meaning you're secure in that. You don't feel like you have to shift into more of your masculine energy because, that's your way of making sure you're good and everything else. You still find the power in staying in your feminine energy, staying grounded there because it feels most natural to you and you're still okay, right? And intentional is where you bring some of that assertiveness whenever it's necessary, some of that more directness whenever it's required. It's a hint or a breath of your masculine energy, not full on sitting in it, right? It has masculine elements to it. So you can still be soft and grounded and secure, but whenever it's needed or necessary, stand your ground and say, hey, no, actually, that doesn't work for me. Here's why, or here's where I'm at, or here's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Kind of direct, a little bit of a sternness to it, but not aggressive. Big difference. And so once you're clear that you're doing your part the healthy way, you're sitting in your feminine energy and doing your part of the role between this masculine and feminine dance, right? When it comes to dating, and you're sure of that for yourself, that's when you need to always remember the right man will never pull back. He'll step up, right? You don't have to worry about, oh, did I do something so wrong? Or why is he backing off? I'm confused. What's happening? The right man will make things really clear to you. No guesswork, no confusion. But he's not going to shy away or back off. He's going to either step up or move out the way. Heck, if he is the caliber of man that you even want to entertain, even if he's not the right man, because look, you can find great men, like you could be a great woman, but you guys just don't actually fit at the end of the day. But he should at least be one that lives in his truth and is honest and can tell you why he's backing off, why it's not making sense for him, why he's going a different direction. You should never be left confused. See, when a man is truly in his healthy masculine, your softness grounds him. Your standards inspire him. Your emotions don't scare him off. They invite him deeper. He doesn't ghost you. He doesn't stall on you. And he doesn't make you question your sanity. If your confidence and your energy makes him retreat, he's not ready. But if it makes him want to step up, then it's a great chance you found alignment between those energy bases where the man is actually fit for the caliber you're looking to entertain. You don't need to shrink your standards to be loved. You don't have to soften so much that you disappear. You don't have to apologize for the way your presence challenges a man to grow. Feminine energy is not some sort of performance that you put on and you do for guys, right? It's a power, just as much as masculine energy is. And the right man will never run from it. If anything, he'll rise with it. If you need help making sure you're showing up the way you want to show up best in your dating life, in your feminine energy, and not being a part of the reason why guys are pulling away, and to stop second guessing yourself when the wrong kind of men pull away so you can have clarity of what's going on, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, you don't have the time, space, or maybe even the resources, then at the very least, grab a copy of my book, Joker Proof Dating here, where it teaches you the secrets to vetting a man in minutes. within the first 10 to 15 minutes of a date, if not by the end of that first date. You'll know if going on the second one makes sense for you or not, and how to start identifying who the better men to entertain and give the time of day in the first place actually are. So you can actually make better use of your time and invest it wisely. Either way, though, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.